listening, reading, and critical thinking. We are going to listen about modern and important inventions. And we are going to read Wonders of the Modern World. Important inventions. The plane. The plane is an important invention of the last 100 years because it has made the world a smaller place. People can travel to other countries in a very short time. For example, I can get on a plane at Cairo airport and be in London in about 4 hours. The disadvantage is that planes cause air and noise pollution, and we have to do something about that soon. The telephone. The telephone, and particularly the mobile phone, is an important invention of the last 100 years. You can put a few numbers into your phone and talk to people anywhere in the world immediately. Or, if you haven't got much time, you can send a text message. In the past, you had to write letters and they took weeks to arrive in a foreign country. The only problem is the cost. International calls can be quite expensive. The radio. The radio is an important invention. You just switch it on and you can get news from all over the world in different languages. You can listen to radio programs in English, but it can sometimes be difficult to find the station. And when you found the station, it's sometimes difficult to hear clearly unless you have an expensive radio. Wonders of the modern world. Hundreds of years ago, a list was made of the 7 wonders of the world. The lighthouse at Alexandria and the Great Pyramid of Giza were among them. The others were buildings or large statues. But what are the wonders of the modern world? Let's look at 2 of the most important wonders which are not buildings. 30 years ago, computers were huge expensive machines which filled rooms. Hardly anyone could buy them because they cost so much. Today, however, there are millions of cheap computers in offices and homes across the world. In some countries, many ordinary people have bought 1 or more computers, which are connected by the internet to shops, banks, and offices. More and more people are shopping, paying their bills, studying, and doing many things by computer. During the last 100 years, there have also been enormous advances in medical treatment. X-rays, for example, make it possible to see what's happening inside our bodies. Doctors can also replace damaged hearts and lungs. No other science has done more to increase our health and happiness. There are other wonders that can be added to this list, such as space travel and new ways of farming which produce better food. We will look at these next week. The pyramids. As everyone knows, the Egyptian pyramids are the tombs of the pharaohs, the country's ancient kings. There are more than 90 pyramids in all. The 4 sides of each pyramid point in the directions north, south, east, and west. We don't know exactly how they were built, but one thing we know is that they were built without the kind of machines and equipment we use today. Most of the thousands of workers who built the pyramids usually worked on farms, but they couldn't work in the fields between the month of July and November because the land was underwater. The stone was cut and then taken by boat or pulled on pieces of wood to the place where they were going to build the pyramid. They put the first stones of the pyramid under the sand. Then they put more huge pieces of stone on top of each other to make steps. To get the stones as high as they needed, they pulled them up ramps, which they had built up the sides of the pyramid. Next, they filled in the steps with smaller pieces of white stone. When the pyramids were finished, their sides shone brightly. Answer the following questions. What are some of the wonders of the modern world? Space travel, electricity, computer and internet, solar energy, X-rays, solar power, genetic engineering, the radio, the television, the plane, new ways of farming, the telephone, and the mobile. Mention some uses of computers. People are shopping, paying their bills, studying, and doing many other things by computers. What's the use of X-rays? X-rays make it possible to see what's happening inside our bodies. What do you think makes space travel a wonder of the modern world? It enables people to explore the universe beyond their own world. How can space travel help ordinary people? The science and technology related to space travel have been used in everyday life. The design of small, lightweight equipment, the development of new material which can be used for a range of everyday things such as medical equipment, use of solar power, and so on. What new ways of farming are there that help produce better food? Disease-resistant crops, more intensive use of land, better irrigation, better understanding of nature. Why were the pyramids built? To bury the ancient Egyptian kings in them. How many pyramids are there in Egypt? There are more than 90 pyramids. During what month were the pyramids built and why? They were built between July and November because the land was underwater then and the farmers couldn't work in the fields, so they were free to build the pyramids. How did they get the huge pieces of stone up the pyramids? They built ramps up the sides of the pyramids and pulled the stones up the ramps. Why did they want the pyramid to shine brightly? To be seen by people at night or to attract the attention. What qualities were needed by the people who built the pyramids? Patience, intelligence, strong will, and determination. What can we learn from people in the past like the ancient Egyptians? We can learn that working hard leads to success. Thanks for listening with Nafham. Learn easily and simply.